In this video, we explore the link to table options that we erased last time. So, the first thing we need to do is to make the current table, this one, from which we call the second table for link, be updated after we in table for link perform an action in this window. We want the table to be refreshed when we close the window. Parameter refresh is responsible for this. We must pass true. By default, refresh is false. Okay, let's try it. Now here we have a cube. We press movements. Here we have value 1. We press save. You see, here, in the background, there's been a change in the parent window. We close, and this table is automatically recalculated. It gets fresh data. Now we see the value 10. Besides true, this parameter has a recalculate value. It is needed to force the table to recalculate. As you understand, this only partially works for simple tables, because there only the header is recalculated, not the rows part. The recalculation of the row in simple tables should be called with a pointer to it. But if it is a temporary table or a table inside a cycle, then when we say recalculate on closing this window, the whole table will be recalculated automatically and the data in it will be updated. Now there is action code in table for link that sets values here. But if instead here was a code that picked up the values itself, and it was a calculation table with a table recalculation unit, then this recalculate value in refresh would update it. This method is used mostly with temporary tables. Let's set it back to true. The next thing I want to talk about is not about code. It refers to the parameters of button. We will go here and we will add here a test button and we will call it test. This will be a button and we'll leave it here and we'll save it. Here we have a button. It often happens that we've opened up some table. It has buttons and we want the window to be closed after we click on this button and its action is executed. The action code parameter is responsible for this. In this test example, we don't fill in the code, but we will specify that we want to close the window after the action is performed. Save. Okay, let's check. We click on the button, some action is performed there, and the window is closed. This is the second super used element associated with these buttons. Next, here's a simple table. We can have a header here. Let's make a test field in header, and let it be a header. It will just be a string with a width of 300. Save. Here we have a field in header. Let's see what the table will look like when we call it this way. By default, the fields in the header and footer will be shown. There can be a lot of fields here, and for example, you don't need to show them in the window to the user. You can specify in link to table that header is not needed and not show it. To do this, we write header false. If you don't specify header, it is set to true. Okay, and now when we click movements, we don't see the header field, only the rows part. At this point we're done. Practice on your server and move on to the next video. Bye bye.